And we're live. It is time for the sport retrospective. Let me get the old screen share going. Um, right. So, how are we doing? Let's see. So, we had a client meeting yesterday. I don't know if we need a retrospective. Do you guys need a bit of structure, or should we just chat for a little while?
I have no agenda.
No. Michael?
No, I have no agenda.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think if we just have a I'm going to go for here. I was going to go for yes, this one, the pull request. Yeah. I mean, the main thing on my mind that yeah, I'm a little bit on the clients are a little bit behind the seems okay. I mean, I haven't pushed the
Sam, unfortunately, it sounds like your internet is choppy.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You guys sound okay to me.
I think you were saying though that the client liked what's something about the client. I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I'm gonna have to cancel. I've got. Yeah. Hold on. I think I had an upload going on in the background that will have been screwing up. Has my audio now?
A little better.
Yeah. I think that was probably the problem. Hold on. Okay, let's go here. Yes, we've got the Hangout is running. Yeah, I'm just going over here to yeah. So I was just saying, I've deployed the latest code to the staging server, and I can see that the home button is now present there. And I guess the other thing that we've got from and basically, as I was going through the things in the pivotal tracker list with the client yesterday, is basically it seems like I had failed in preparing. I had failed to push the latest stuff forward. The stuff that you're working on, Michael, seemed to be very well received by the client, and yeah, I need to move that along so that the home button seems like it could go live. I guess the thing that I'm struggling with at the moment, if anything, is just that this is how to test that the call to action is, how to do it. Like,
okay, so you go into the console through your Ninefold app. I don't remember offhand how you do that.
But, right. I mean, I guess I have to create some kind of user associated with an organization that has.
Or create a user associated with an org. There might be one.
Yeah.
You can use.
Right. So I would just
change its updated time.
Right. And then I should see it. So I think we don't have to do it in the retrospective, but that is then it's finished then. This call to action. Yeah. So I can click finish on that there.
Yes.
I guess it doesn't send an email at the moment, or it's just a banner that comes up.
So I mean, finish means that it's on staging. Is that what we're saying, or is that?
Well, finish would be if it's in a pull request. I'd say it's finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you click delivered, it means
deliver means. Deliver means I'm pushing it production.
Oh, production.
Deliver is actually like delivering it to the client, and then so it's then. I mean, often.
Then only then accept shows up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that was at this stage, it would now be in the. I mean, I guess if I'd been better prepared for yesterday's meeting, what would have happened is I would have had that all finished, and I would be basically ready to show it to Rachel on staging and get the final approval that it's ready to go out to production in its current form, and then on the next meeting I would get the approval that to do the accept. It was in,
Okay.
yeah, okay. And then this one, actually, I guess, John, this one with the student of Rose's. Did you paired with him briefly? Is that right?
Yeah, briefly. I got a little bit of coding done with him, but I called out. It was like right before the holidays. I called out to him after the holidays, and he wasn't available. Um, he hasn't resurfaced.
No. Anyway, we'll see. And I guess, but basically, this one, I won't worry about this one for the moment. It's like, I guess it's not like a high priority, and it's on hold, waiting for this guy to come back.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then we've got that, so that is delivered. Okay, there we go.
Now, where's the story for the multiple category search?
That's here.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the thing that's the next priority. And we've got actually the village one. This one has started, then, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's put you in there, Michael. Yeah. So that's down there, and then
You can start the other. You can start the category for John.
I guess that's yeah. At least when you've spiked on that.
Yeah, I mean, all it is right now is the front end.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to pair Mary and Michael and whoever else on the actual back end implementation.
Mm-hmm.
Front end stuff is just like fiddling with CSS, and I don't know if pairing is really good use for that anyway, but I got that out of the way. So
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to notice that it seems like it's if I click on that one, it seems like we now have multiple owners on stories, which is finally that's Marshall or Billy. Yeah, anyone. I guess anybody who now clicks any of the buttons becomes an owner on something. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So yes, I mean, I think we showed and we showed that to the client, maybe in a meeting that you were there, John, or whenever it was Michael. They seem to be, reasonably comfortable with that interface.
okay.
I think there was Michael raised the concern about the boxes kind of being out of line and this, that, and the other. I think I sent a link to them to look at that the previous week. We didn't follow up on it yesterday. I should have brought their attention again. Maybe Alex had asked, is there a version we can play with? I guess what would be great is to get a feature branch up on Heroku and then give them something that they can play with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just wanted to say that in terms of that, I would be interested in seeing what IE8 looks like on a. I don't even have a Windows computer available to me right now, but because John had used newer something called Flex in CSS3, which IE8 doesn't implement. So.
Oh, really? For those three things? Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing. Is if we put it up on a, I think it's relatively easy for the client to look at it on some of those servers. I mean, I do also have a Windows box, so I haven't brought it up in a while. Yeah, but good point. I'm still not sure what the approach there, but I think if it's up, I think previously, John, you'd had a local spike and just given screenshots from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it can get up onto the Heroku branch, then that makes it, we can all kick it around on different things.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. And so I kind of brought this SEO optimization thing in as sense. I feel like we really need to get it fixed. Pravina, who started on this, has fallen off the radar. So yeah, do we want to just quickly vote on this story?
Was there more to do? I saw that she made a pull request, right?
She did the pull request, which we've merged in, which is good. We have now, I believe, if we look at this setup, we've got the tags in the header, but and I'm sure that's improving, or at least it will eventually improve. It's got.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. It seems like our retrospective is like what we used to call a project-focused
Scrum. Yeah, that's sort of what we're doing in the absence of having had any other, we don't see each other in scrums. But we can also, I mean, I think, yeah, for me, that's all true. We can, should we, if we just, the additional thing to do on this SEO optimization is to try and set it so that when we search for Harrow Community Network like this, that rather than just being random pages related to it, that it actually gives us, like even the client has got, their Volunteer Action Harrow has got this kind of like sub-pages thing set up here. So basically that's what we want.
Interesting.
And I feel like it's kind of an ongoing, it just needs fix. So I guess we've got, I mean, in some ways, we could say SEO friendly text registers, etc. We could just, maybe we need a separate feature. We should say that this basically has hold on, what's going on here? SEO optimization. Yeah, that was done, and it was like that was like 1 point, and that's closed, and that's done and delivered, and whatever. Can I put it into the right? Let's say started. Let's put that delivered. Okay, but so we've got a additional story. Oh damn! I don't do that. Not sort out here, which is I don't know. This is like Google subpages in results. We want to get this. I guess it's something that I have to do. I'm going to just.
It's a site map, right?
Yeah, it's a site map. This site mapping Google results, and I have looked it up before, and there's some sequence of things to do. It's almost it's a chore that I've just got to get done. So let's not waste your time voting on it. Yeah, and I'm just going to put it down here.
But it's something that potentially will have to be maintained too.
I think, from my understanding of it, what it involves is just registering a series of things with Google to say, look, this is the way that our site is structured, possibly putting an XML document in there, and that's just it. I don't think it needs to be. Yeah, I mean, in the long run, maybe as the site changes, but yeah.
And what about dealing with, like, at least when I had run a Google search for Harrow Community Network a while ago, there were things coming up that were like people's personal Heroku instances.
Yeah.
And they weren't even, they were higher than the actual real site.
Yes. Well, I think that'd certainly be a problem. At the moment, we are at least getting, I think partly as a result of our search engine optimization, we're higher in the list than people's own things. And, we're not seeing other people's personal instances in there at the moment. So I think that's at least being partially addressed. Yeah, and I hope that this kind of thing is about.
Okay, we're at the bottom of on the first page.
I mean, we're there. Like we're the top hit, but the top hit is one of the organizations inside our system, rather than being, the top hit for Harrow Community Network should be this.
Well, it's a little different for me, but I guess it's.
Oh, okay, right. Sure, yeah, different Google things. Okay, but that's like my main issues, really. I guess just as I've got very busy, then things have started for you guys continue to do great work. I mean, I guess we can move into a more retrospective mode now, having just sorted it out. Unless you guys have got other particular blockers that we need to talk about, we could talk about how the project is operating and whether there's things that we need to start doing or stop doing or continue doing, restart doing.
One thing I'd be interested in, I don't know if, Michael, you agree with this, but it would be nice to have a separate branch deployable to stage rather than having to merge into develop to get that onto stage. I'm not too familiar with what we're actually using to deploy to our staging environment, but like at work here, we have Capistrano set up to pull from the repo, not the develop or the production branch, but a separate branch called stage.
Okay.
And so as people are like reaching a point in their builds that are like, let me see what this actually looks like on a production environment. They push it up to stage, and then they deploy stage, and it doesn't have to yet be accepted into develop / merged to production.
Right. Yes, that's interesting. I mean, the other thing I'm thinking of is I'm thinking like I'd like to have continuous deployment, so that basically stuff rather than waiting for me to move stuff into development and onto staging, that it's just the code is like snapshot. It just every week or whatever, it just gets moved along the pipeline, and with the idea that one has to write one's code so that it's always ready to move along. But
that's like that's actually a lot involved in that.
yeah, I mean, I think and maybe it's not practical for us in this project at this time.
In terms of like, yeah.
Yes, I mean, I think at the moment.
I think they say you shouldn't really you shouldn't really use feature branches.
Right. Well, let's not worry about that. I mean, let's go back to John's.
Anyway,
I think John, feel free to set up another. I mean, I guess it definitely feels recently like the staging is not so. I mean, I felt that clearly one has to have production. Then I guess the idea in my mind is that the staging one that we have is the place that we show stuff to the client immediately before deploy, and develop is somewhere that we can. I mean, I guess arguably we don't.
I mean, I feel like if we had like say we had a branch.
Yes.
Like John's suggesting, a stage branch.
Yes.
That all the core developers could push to.
Yes.
And it was automatically hooked to an instance on Ninefold that had
all the
production quality data.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder, should we make staging like that, and just from now on, that we get stuff onto develop, and if the client approves it on develop, then we just move it onto production.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
I'm kind of. I guess Yeah, maybe we should try that, because I'm not convinced at the moment that we're, like we've got the stuff that was on develop, and I've now moved it onto staging, and I'm kind of looking at it there, and it doesn't feel like we are getting much value from that, and obviously we're using some of our Ninefold stuff from that. So maybe that's a way to go. We'll go from moving forwards. If we get approval on stuff from develop, I guess what I will want to do is I want to make the develop server have a better make it have. I guess I'm going to put a chore in here for me, which is make develop server have good replica of production data.
But for this to work, you would have to add John, Marion, and I to have push rights, or maybe we could.
I think you do, don't you? Could you not?
I think I personally do. I don't know whether John and Marion do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to add that for all of you guys. I mean, I'm my direction is increasing your levels of access generally. So just if you find you don't have it, I can set it up. And then the other one is to make the staging instance, and let's call that staging instance have SSH certs set up correctly. So that's one thing. I mean, I have done that before. Yeah. If you guys have got, as you know, I'm still slightly overwhelmed. We're gonna start having these reading week things here at Makers that are gonna, like, so in 10 days from now, I'll have slightly more space to get some things done where we don't have to give lectures to the students and so on. But if there's any way you can help me get any of these tasks done, or if you can point me to someone and say, Sam, do this, go to this link and press this button and do this, then you can help enable me to help unblock you, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, just, I mean, in general, I would say retrospectively, the biggest issue has been getting you into a chat, I guess.
Yeah.
Like actually getting in contact with you, and sometimes the nature of the problem that I wanted feedback on, it was inadequate for text chat.
Sure. Is there a better time that we can work at, like to be doing like you know?
Well, you do scrums at like 2 in the morning. I noticed, like my time, like it's
Yeah.
really early. There's no way I would attend that at all.
No, and that's what I do with Thomas. Although I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, in some ways, the sort of Scrum model is we haven't got, many people in many of the scrums. I mean, I'm finding it difficult to do sometimes to do the 3:45 ones for me, which 3:45, that's like 10:45 for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yes. I mean, my hope going forward is that my workload is going to go somewhat down, and that will make it easier for us to get, in coordination. I mean, at the same time, some other things have happened, which is that we've got two. Did you guys watch the video of our charity jamboree?
No.
So we had like some local London charities come in and pitch to our students here, and so two of those groups have now been, the students selected them, and so the students here are going to be working with those two charities. And I guess I'm going to hope to try and bring a lot of that activity into Agile Ventures. I find it would, we had some really interesting. I want to share this with the whole Agile Ventures community. What have we got? Charity Jamboree, there it is. Just in case you're interested, do check that out. I was very pleased with the, articulate. The charity people came in quite articulate, and they had really interesting, IT challenges, not just Bill's website, but mobile stuff and big data and this, that, and the other. And also, I don't know if I converted that Pages thing to a PDF, but Steve, the guy who previously provided the $2,000 for local support, has this new proposal with a bigger budget for something that is like I don't know. I don't know if it can kind of overlap. It's like another directory thing. I don't know if it's going to overlap with that. But Michael, you're interested in getting paid work for things like local support?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, John, I imagine you're being, paid heavily already, so it's not such the incentive that it might have been in the past.
Are we possibly able to reuse chunks of the local support code base when you look this over? Do you think there's any chance of that?
I think it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, even is there enough overlap that I guess that's going to be the same thing. I mean, I think in some ways what I can't really take on managing this additional project at the moment. I can sort of facilitate and put people in touch with each other, if you know what I mean. But I don't know, unless I made it something. It's frustrating that this came in just too late for the charity jamboree. In a couple of weeks, I might have a group of Makers alumni who are interested. But I would be particularly interested in you guys reading through this, whether it was of any interest to you. I worry a little bit about it, that it's kind of saying here, it's sort of, it seems to be like, from a spec, it's like overly specifying what it needs to be. But anyway, take a look.
Okay. I mean, we might be able to support it if we do a separate front end, right,
Yeah.
and just have local support as the back end.
Well, I mean, it would be a very interesting if it was a local support project in terms of trying to make local support more generic so that it can be reused and deployed. I mean, this also seems to be set up that they want it, and then they want it to be deployed first in Harrow, and then to be deployed into other parts of the country. So I guess I need to have I guess I can't escape having a phone conversation with the guy about this. I'll phone him this evening and see if I can get through. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot going on. My apologies for it.
I mean, £9,000 is
That's
a fairly small budget.
It's not very big. It's
for
not
what they're asking for.
No, I mean that's the other thing is to say, you know, to be honest, it's a bit ridiculous to say like here's all the stuff we want and this is how much we're going to pay for it. It's more like yeah. Anyway, but go on, John.
Oh, okay. Well, I do really, really want to write the front end again.
Yeah.
And this might be an opportunity to try that. And
right.
Depending on how far I get, this might be something where we could do it just because the front end is separate. And then, for instance, I could focus solely on the front end, and you guys could focus solely on the back end, maybe, and have it just function as an API. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting thing to do. I mean, I think it's not a large amount of money. I mean, I think the important thing I need to negotiate with this guy is that for that amount of money, they can't say, oh, we must have this by this date, this date, and this date. We have to say, look, we can do a prototype for you that will, explore. Anyway, I guess I'll find out more details.
Yeah, and work wouldn't necessarily be wasted if I build a front end that they, for whatever reason it doesn't work out. Like this front end separation build could then just be tweaked back to being Aero Community Network's front end.
Yeah.
And there we have our separation of front and back.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, things like the full width map and so on. There's
right.
Like when you say separating the front end and do you mean basically like turning everything in Rails to JSON and then rendering it with some front-end framework?
To be honest, I'm not like super experienced, and so I don't actually know if it needs to be separate apps. But yes, I do imagine that it would be the cutoff at the controller, and the controllers would all provide JSON, and possibly a separate web server, application server running the front end would be picking that up and rendering it.
Right, like there'd be a separate.
Interesting. I think I'm probably going to have to leave you guys to carry on chatting about those ideas. I don't know if I'll see either of you. There's actually another meeting in 55 minutes, which is the Agile Ventures weekly meeting. It's going to be focused on WSO, but I think I've probably got to slip off now. But yeah, I'll leave you to consider thinking about this, and I'll try and phone this guy and feed you back more information about this project.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good.
Michael, you got a minute to stick around?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sam.
Roy?
All right. I'm going to pull up this